This podcast contains potentially adult language, adult themes, definitely drinking, and possibly sexual context. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Drinking with Authors, Literary Briefs edition. I am day drinking, which is never a good plan. I'm just kidding.
It's a little rough, you know?
It is a little rough to do this earlier. I'm not
It's
gonna
not
lie.
a lie.
Okay.
You are day drinking.
Yes, I'm day drinking.
It's
I
not
am
even
your host,
vacay.
Erica. Yes. My co-host today, that, by the way, expect nothing out of her today other than just mayhem, is C.R. Rice. And our amazing guest is Beau Lake. Woo! So I am going to check to see if they actually put a laugh track, but probably for this one, if I go check this one, Adam won't, and he'll be like, hee hee hee. Like, he'll think it's really
We could just add our own, just be like, ha 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 ha. There we go, done.
Yeah, because it's
It's
video.
done.
Nobody will notice that. Okay, let's talk about what we're drinking. I have barely any left. But
Are people gonna see this video?
yes.
Yes.
Did you not read the instructions?
I wish I looked a little prettier today, but it's fine.
You look super pretty
You
today. What the hell are
do.
you talking
Thanks.
about? And
Thanks.
not in the way I normally say people look pretty, because normally that's not a compliment when I say it.
You're so pretty.
Yeah, no, I say that all the time when people do dumb stuff, including myself. I did something really dumb yesterday, and my boyfriend looked at me and I'm like, I'm super pretty today.
I love that. I love that.
So I am drinking cranberry juice and vodka. Mainly it's vodka, like kind of colored the color of cranberry juice. There's a lot of vodka in this cup. So that's happening in DWA.
Add a little
swag.
bit of key lime. I don't know why, but if you add lime to vodka, it kills the taste of vodka.
It's not the
It gets
taste
me
of the
many
vodka, it's how
nights.
much I've consumed. This is not a taste thing.
How many shots are in that cup?
Yes. Well, are
You
we
can
talking
get
DWA shots or regular shots? Because when you get our shot glasses, turns out there are two shots.
A heaping shot. A
It's
heaping shot.
probably about 4 or 5. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, I'm not kidding. It was like ice, vodka. Let's color it the color of cranberry. Look, it's colored. It's cool. Anyway. Oh, our sponsor, Skunk Brothers Spirits, DWA 10. Check them out. CR, what are you drinking today?
So I switched it up in one of my many things that I have around my desk. So because, I realized it's not like, 7, 8 o'clock, it's like 3. I switched to Gatorade and vodka to
That
pep
doesn't
myself
make it
up.
better. We've had this conversation.
Yes, but it's mind over matter. In my mind, it
You're
works.
getting electrolytes.
Therefore,
You're getting electrolytes.
I will say, exactly, and I will say, it doesn't matter how many of these have, I can be stumbling over myself. Next morning, no hangover. That is not me telling anybody that's what you should do. I'm just saying in my head, that's what I believe, therefore it is.
I love that drink combination. I should have thought of that myself. Because usually my drink of choice is Red Bull and vodka, which you shouldn't mix together.
Oh, I
Uppers
can
and
tell you a
downers are not
story
good.
of Red Bull and cherry vodka, some cherry bombs. I did at least 18 one night. It was more than
I can
that.
taste the
Luckily, I
indigestion.
threw up because my heart would have exploded.
Well, now
Oh
I
my
really
God.
want to come to Dragon Con when everyone goes, because apparently it's going to be lit. So
It
maybe
is.
I'll
There's an
come.
entire hotel of writers that are. Anyway, we're finding
I'm
out
gonna
if we
be
have
there.
a booth. We have a booth, Bo. You should come.
We
Working
got
on
the
it.
booth. Yes.
I don't know yet.
Plus, I'm there and I always ply everybody with alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah.
then maybe I will come. I might.
Valerie's got places at the hotel. I thought, anyway, you should reach out to her. We're not doing this.
Yeah,
This is
I was
Beau
gonna say,
Lake, by the way, everyone.
Okay.
We're not getting through this podcast, and I'm not in the right mind to control the
We are
entire
not
thing.
doing good.
Should I
We
say
made
what
you
I'm,
cry laugh. Oh, we're at a whole level today.
should I say what I'm drinking?
Yes, you should, because we're never going to get on to the questions of this.
I am almost finished with my rum chata and iced coffee, and then I'm going to switch to just regular green tea so I don't have a migraine later. But
That's why
it will
she
be
does the Gatorade and
Gatorade and
vodka.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I
get
should have
sponsored by
prepared
Gatorade one
better.
day.
Chelsea
Maybe
should
you
have
should
sent me
make
an email.
A Gatorade, one of the Gatorade flavors, one of the Horsemen. I'm just saying that might be a thing.
I will say I have done it through every single one of them. Like because I've been trying to make the Four Horsemen drinks, it ends up with a lot of really dicey things.
Yeah,
So like I have
sometimes.
actually done one in every color, like because I was sick and tired of trying to figure them out one day. So I'm like, boom, done. Red, yellow, blue. Yep, I did. Because I cheated one day. And I
You have to and now you have to go back to scratch. Okay, we're starting literary briefs. Beau,
all right.
Beau, what is
Yes.
your favorite book of all time?
Oh, my favorite book of all time, I think, is The Long Walk by Stephen King.
Ooh, why?
It's one of those books that I read within like 2 hours. Like I just like devoured it. And I'm at this point because I have so many children, I'm at this point where I don't have time to focus really on like reading or like that sort of thing. So if a book holds my attention that hard and like doesn't let go of me, I'm like, that's a good book. So yeah, it's A Long Walk by Stephen King. Highly recommend.
Very cool. What is your least favorite book of all time?
I knew you were going to ask this question, and I don't want to answer it because I don't want to talk poorly about another author.
Oh, please, come on. What's the book?
Chelsea,
When did that happen?
Chelsea, what's your book though? Tell me what your least favorite book
What
is.
I don't like? Okay, let's
Yeah.
see. I don't like the Twilight series. I think it's absolute bullshit. I don't like the 50 Shades series at all. One of my favorite series is The Hollow Kingdom by Claire B. Dunkel. There's another series called The Hollow Kingdom that is a ripoff of it. I absolutely deplore that woman. I have a very long list. Like, I never understand why people say that they don't have a book they don't like.
All
Like,
right,
there's so many books out there. You can't tell me
Right.
every book you open was like, yes, favorite.
And it doesn't mean that it's a terrible book, except for
Right, it just
50
not my
Shades of Grey,
favorite.
which is a terrible book. But
It's true. that
And
that
Twilight.
book makes me upset. Also, Twilight makes me upset because it's not good. But if I was gonna name a book that I did not like, I would say there's a series called the After series, and it's like was fanfic, like Harry Styles fanfic, and then it got turned into a book. I don't like that book.
Harry Styles fanfic?
Isn't that a celebrity?
Yes, he was like from One Direction, and then the author was like, I think he's really hot, and I agree, and then she wrote a whole book, 3 books about him, and then published them.
Do you hear the silence that's happening on this call? I think we're all like, what the fuck are you talking about? How is that a thing?
This
Yeah.
seems to be like a really like common thing recently of like people having their like fanfics turned in, like just changing the names on their fanfics and then publishing them as novels, which I'm not saying is wrong or bad because a lot of the major publishers are doing it. But that book is it's very poorly written, and the main character is horrifically abusive and presented as not abusive. And I have a real problem with that because I think we have at least a little bit of a responsibility to not be like, this is great. Like when a character is horrible, I feel like we should be able to say, you know what, this person's not great. And it's fine to write characters who aren't great. I write them all the time. But I think you have to present them as not great, not like so romantic.
All right.
All the feelings. We've had a lot of feelings on this.
We're getting very strong. What is your favorite mythological creature?
Oh,
I'm breaking up Erica's questions.
you are.
That
You
way it
just
throws
totally
you
broke up my
because-
question.
Because every time we do them, you do the same first four. So I'm trying to throw Beau off because she said she tried to research.
I didn't try. I did. I listened to several episodes. I would say werewolves, I have to say, are my favorite because they're the ones I write all the time because I think they're I like that they're really body horror and it's kind of gross. And I like to write gross stuff sometimes. But I also like vampires. I just wish vampires were written a little better. So maybe I'll have to write vampires one day.
I'm just
I
doing a
like
lot
it.
of book
I like it.
promises. All right.
Can I do mine
I was
now?
gonna say you could do yours now. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so what is your favorite book that was made into a movie or TV series? Like what one of those did you like?
Let's see. Usually when they make books in the movies, I don't like them, but I like some of the Stephen King ones. Like I like The Shining, even though it's not The Shining. It's a totally different thing. I like it. I have a really high tolerance for shitty movies, so I just like shitty movies. So even if I love a book and it has a shitty movie, I'll mostly like it. Except for the Blood and Chocolate movie, which was a dumpster fire.
Okay, well, that follows up my next question for which one you didn't like.
Well, I would say mostly that one. I always have trouble with these questions because it feels like I'm being put on the spot, and like my brain just like forgets everything I've ever read or watched, which is wild because I read and watch things all the time. But let me think. Looking over at my bookshelves. Oh, another one that I liked was the Stephen King book. What is it called? The one about JFK. I like that miniseries, even though I don't like the main actor in it because he's a bad person.
Okay.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Okay. So if you could be any main character, but you have to live their life, who would you be?
Oh. I had to live their life. I'm not super sure. Oh. I like the Anne McCaffrey books, the Dragon Riders of Pern books. If I could be in her world, it seems just so fun, and there's dragons, but also technology and space. I think that's probably where I would live.
Okay. What about
Okay.
if you could pick a sidekick?
Sidekick. I would probably choose. I don't know, maybe Danny Torrance in The Shining, because he has little magical powers, and I hang out with small children all day because I have 3 kids, so I think he would be like a fun kid to hang out with.
What about the one from the Dr. Sleep?
Oh yeah, Dr. Sleep is really good.
Yeah. I actually watched that the other day at one point.
I was just gonna ask, like, is the show actually good?
Well, it was a movie that stars what is his name? Ewan McGregor,
Yeah.
Dr. Sleep. And
Oh, I thought it was a show.
I actually didn't realize what it was because I don't get to read nearly as much as I used to. And so I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, why does this seem like The Shining? And my friend who I was with is like, this is the sequel to The Shining. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense now. Okay.
You're like, what is this hotel? Why does this hotel seem so familiar to me?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what's happening here? What's going on? Cool. I'm so awesome. Okay. So you keep looking when we talk to you about books over at Books and You Have a Paperback. Do you read ebooks or no?
I do. Mostly recently I have been reading ebooks because it's just more accessible in that I'll have a book with me all the time on my phone or on my Kindle. But my bookshelf is right here, so I keep looking at it because these are the books that I read over and over again. So I'm like, what books do I like? What are books? Like, my brain just shuts off and I cannot, like, I don't know. I'm just very bad at interviews, apparently.
That is
It's the
that is-
alcohol.
It's the alcohol.
It's
fine.
the rum
It's the lack
chata.
of sleep and alcohol
Yes.
and everything. That's what it is. So.
I'm also not very eloquent in person. Like I'm much more eloquent on the page. So I'm sure when people meet me at like conventions, they're gonna be like, "Who is this off-putting person?" It's Beau.
You're not going to think that at all. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so that was super dark again. What
Yeah.
is on your anti-bucket list? The list that you will never do again.
What was that?
What is something you will never do again? We've dubbed it the anti-bucket list.
I will never be pregnant again. That's body horror in and of itself. What I will never do again. Basically that, yeah, I'll never be pregnant again. It was a lot. It's a very emotionally like a traumatizing thing to like go through, like labor and birth and stuff.
Okay, what is on your bucket list then?
Oh, my bucket list. I'm really excited to be like at a convention as like a person who's like written in the brochure. That's gonna be really cool. I'm really excited for that. I've never done anything like that before. And I have a potential author signing sometime this summer too. And that's something I've never done before. It feels so strange to like put myself out there as like, this is me and I'm an author. Like, I know I am, but it's strange to like market myself as like a author and to be like that person that people see and they're like, that person's an author. So I think those are on my bucket list because it's like so outside of like my comfort zone. And yeah, I think that's a good answer.
Oh, I like that answer. What about fan interactions? What kind of fan interactions have you had?
I haven't had that many, honestly, because I feel like I'm still so like new. It was really wild when my mother came over with a stack of books and she goes, all of my friends want you to sign these. And I'm like, really? People want me to sign books like a professional? So that was really bizarre. And it was like a great feeling, but it was so like outside of my wheelhouse that I was like, me?
No, that makes sense. What about, has anybody reached out to you on like social media or something and been like, oh my God, I love your book, or other things? Because they do other things. So
they do other things. I've gotten really great like comments on Goodreads, and I've had some people reach out and be like, hey, when is this coming out on audiobook, or when is this coming out? And it's just so exciting for someone to be like chomping at the bit for something that I'm doing, because like they're invested in the series. And it makes me feel really good that like I've strung together a story that people are like, I want to know what happens later. Tell me when the next book comes out. Or they like write like a really great comment on Goodreads. And I know Goodreads is not for us as authors and it's for readers, but it's just, I like to go back and look at the comments every once in a while and be like, what do people say? Because I'm only in my own head most of the time. So I'm like, what do other people think about this thing that I did?
no, I think that's very cool. And I think it's smart for you to do that because if you can have some interaction with fans, it's going to be better in person. I actually can't wait for you to experience when somebody comes up to you who's read your stuff and it's like, oh my God, it's you or whatever, and wants you to sign something. Like, I mean, it can be creepy, like what happened to Chelsea on her first thing, but it can also be fantastic. You know, when they come up and they're so excited about this story you've given them, especially when they point out things in the story that you don't remember.
Yeah.
That you wrote. So
Like,
it'll be fun. What about audiobooks? Have you listened to your audiobooks?
I have the worst like secondhand embarrassment listening to my own writing. I don't know what that is inside of me that's like that, but I have listened to parts of them, like when we were choosing like the narrator, who's great, by the way. I love him very much. He's does wonderful voices for all the characters.
That's
But
Chase, right? Chase Johnson is
Chase, yeah. And when he was auditioning, you guys had him record the sex scene, and you were like, listen to the sex scene. I was like, I don't know if I want to listen to the sex scene. I don't know. But I sat there, I listened to the whole thing, and I was like, wow. He like, I felt like elevated it to like the next level, where it was kind of giving it a different like tenor and like beats. And it was interesting to hear words that I've written after it's been like 6 months since I looked at those words, and to be like, oh, wasn't so bad. Good job, me. Like, my self-esteem is like down here, so I'm still learning to get like proud of myself and be like, wow, good job.
You've published 6 books. You should be proud of yourself. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. It's huge. You should be super proud. Okay, Chelsea, you need to ask the weird food question. We promised the weird food question.
What is your favorite weird food combination?
When I was a kid, my weird food combination was macaroni and cheese with ketchup on it.
Oh, that's not weird. I did that today.
Not
even kidding. I did it for
Online.
lunch. I did it for lunch. Like, I'm not even kidding.
But now I'm like, now I can't like imagine like putting that in my mouth. I'm like, I can't. Now I don't think I do anything that weird. Like, if I combine foods together that people be like, that's strange, I'm like, it's gourmand, okay? It's amazing.
But what is one of those foods?
Oh, putting me on the spot. I like to put sriracha on everything. Everything.
What do you mean, everything?
Even if it's like a weird something, like I put it on, well, I don't eat meat anymore, but I used to put it on meat. I put it on pasta, I put it on pizza. Well, I know everyone does that, but like, I'm always looking for foods to be spicy. Even if they're generally not a spicy food, I want everything to be spicy. So I'll put on eggs. I'm just like, I want everything to be fire in my mouth.
So like salt, you use sriracha. It's basically what you
on everything, yeah. I feel like I'm not very adventurous food wise. I'm pretty bland when it comes to food.
Except for you put sriracha on everything. You can't say
literally
that.
Everything.
I'm bland, and you're literally talking about putting like fire on
food. I will
food.
set your mouth on fire.
But everyone does that. I feel like everyone does that. So it's not like a thing that people are like, that's strange, because everyone's like, I put that on eggs or something.
I don't even think I own sriracha.
It's so good. I love spicy food. Love it.
Have you eaten the spicy gumballs? Have you seen these where like they're different levels of heat?
They've ruined gum?
Yeah.
I've seen them, but I feel like gum should never be anything but like wintergreen or fruit flavored. The idea of chewing something that has a savory taste over and over and over again just sounds disgusting.
It's not savory, it's fire. And I just want you to imagine, well, because you eat food, you get it in your mouth, but if you're chewing gum, you get it
it's
everywhere in your mouth. I did this. I regret it. I love spicy foods, hot foods. I have a whole entire incident. It involves a lot of tears. It involves my friend taking me to the store to get ice cream because I couldn't get the fire to calm down in my mouth. It was a ghost pepper one. It was a bad idea. Many things on that.
So how does it work? Is it like a gumball machine and like you put a quarter in and like whatever heat you get is what you got to do?
You actually
if you're going to play roulette, you might as well play roulette.
No, you get them in tubes. So I actually got them for Greg.
Ooh.
And they're tubes and they go from 1 heat to 5 heat. Although the one is starting off with like sriracha or something like that. It's not like almost nothing. And then 5 on this particular one is scorpion something, scorpion.
Oh,
Whatever.
scorpion pepper.
Yeah. And so it's very funny because when this particular person, I actually gave this as gifts to a few people who like that sort of stuff, but he started off with the first one, then did the second one. And I think he got to the third one and then accidentally grabbed the 5th one when he was on a meeting, and like tears went down his face. And apparently he had taken a break from them. And then the other day he started with the beginning one again. And he was like, I was ugly crying on a meeting because it was fire in my face.
Oh,
and I was like,
you ruined peppers.
I was like, that's cool. I like that I made him cry. So that was actually the bonus part of that to me, that I made him cry.
I feel like that was the plan all along.
It really was. It really was. And it worked out well. So I was happy. It's like kind of a win-win. So
I love that. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Joe,
Okay. If you found $1 million in the middle of nowhere, what would you do with it?
If I had $1 million, wow.
Well, that answered that question.
It would be nice to have $1 million. I think I would probably do some like stuff on my house, like because I would get like a pool, because I feel like my kids would really like a pool. So it'd be like stupid, like around the house repairs and stuff that's not very exciting, and then a pool.
okay, you haven't even spent half of your $1 million.
I was about to say, I don't know what kind of house you
And
have.
then- and
but-
then I
Like a pool is like 40 grand. You're gonna need to do better
To
than
be
that.
fair, I don't know how much a pool is because we haven't looked into it, because I was like, it's gonna be too expensive. And
I mean,
$40,000
A-Ground is the
does
most
feel-
expensive.
Yeah. I think I would also buy a horse, because I've always been like a horse girl. So I would buy a horse
Okay, so
Don't look
we're
at
gonna
me
do
like
some
that,
home
Chelsea.
repairs.
and then buy a horse.
We're gonna get a pool, and then we're just gonna have this lone horse just out here chilling. Just
Well, I get it, like a place to live. I wouldn't just have it like circling the pool. Come on.
So I thought that was actually the best image ever to wrap up this podcast.
yeah, I was just like, she has it like on a
I'm gonna
leash,
get a
just
pool,
walking around
and
the
then there's
pool.
gonna be a horse over here with
The
a
horse
really
is like
nice
drinking,
house,
drinking out of the pool. Like,
and Beau's
Yeah.
sitting on a lawn chair just writing on her phone. Like that's.
and I'm like, yes, this is the best life. I've always wanted this. Yeah, but I don't know. That sounds pretty awesome. I'm into it. I would put a horse in my backyard. I hope it likes the pool.
I'm sure. Hey, depending on the ramp you put with the pool, I mean,
True.
you could do that. Okay, tell people how to find your books and stuff, and where you're going to be.
They can go to bowlakebooks.com. They can go to Amazon. They can go to horsemenpublications.com. They can go to Barnes & Noble. You can request the books at your local indie bookstore. They can see me at AwesomeCon on June 3rd through 5th, because I'm in DC. So if anyone is in DC, come hang out with me. I will be just this awkward in person. And I have my next book coming out this summer, and then a new series coming out in the winter.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, because there's also going to be a horror series coming out here soon enough. And what is the next book in your series?
The next book in the series is The Beast Like Me. It is book 6 in the series.
Very, very cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast. It has been actually tremendously fun to having you here. It really has been.
I feel so awkward.
That's okay. You can't be nearly as awkward as I got this over here that is not having any of it. So
I am not awkward. I am doing very well.
She has
Okay,
Gatorade.
guys,
She's
this
doing
is-
great.
We'll take a vote. Go back and watch the previous videos and let us know if I got this or not.
oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
this has been Drinking with Authors. I have been your host, Erica Lance. Our sponsor today has been Skunk Brothers Spirits. DWA10 is the coupon code. My co-host has been CR Rice, who's got this. And if you watch the video, you'll know what we're talking about. And our amazing and not awkward guest has been Beau Lake. Thank you so much again.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next time.